Hello and welcome to Candidates on the Clock, sponsored by the Newton Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Lanier Sims. Today we're joined with Melanie Williams, that is running for Georgia State Senate, District 43. Ms. Williams, can you tell the citizens a little bit more about you?
Sure. I am running for State Senate, Georgia District 43. I've been a resident for DeKalb County for over 36 years. I've lived and worked in DeKalb County as a multifamily property manager and a real estate agent. I've raised my one and only child, son, in DeKalb, and he attended a DeKalb County high school where he graduated in DeKalb. And I am running because I have experienced some concerns and challenges as a DeKalb citizen to where I see there's real change needed. And so I am running to make that change for not only for our community, but for the county and the state of Georgia.
Okay, thank you. As you're aware, we have questions that were submitted by our citizens, so we're going to just jump right in. First question, are you willing, or what's your view on legislation to offer nonpartisan local elections, such as your Board of Commissioners, Board of Education?
Well, I think those elections are important, and I think voter participation with the residents of those counties should be implemented to where there's some type of compliance there, but I think they're important to have those elections in those communities.
Okay, thank you. Our next question, would you support legislation to remove politics from redistricting process by using automation or an appointed board to remove partisan interest from that process?
Well, I think there needs to be an oversight in that process because what you don't want to have is more marginalized communities being neglected or being to where the voice or votes are somehow not being omissed or unaccounted for, or you may have candidates, truly good candidates in those districts that they're being mapped out that truly can make a change. So I just think there needs to be some type of compliance and compliance process in place to oversee all of that. We're experiencing it now, even in my district. So I just think that there needs to be more oversight in how the mapping is done and making sure that the low-income or marginalized communities are not left out of the voting process.
Okay, thank you. Our next question gets a little bit into healthcare. What is your view on the expansion of Medicare and Medicaid?
I think with Medicaid for Georgia, for an example, during the pandemic, you had over 31,000 people that lost their lives due to COVID. And I don't think they died because of COVID. I think they died because they didn't have access to quality health insurance. So I think, and some of those deaths were low-income residents and citizens of Georgia. And so they didn't have access, so therefore, they lost their lives because of it. So I think Medicare and Medicaid should be expanded just so that if there was another pandemic, that the citizens of Georgia will have access to quality care to just make sure, they're saving their lives. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next question, will you support an increase in our state minimum wage?
Yes, I would.
Easy answer. Okay. Let's jump into, would you support, or what's your view on eliminating state income taxes?
Well, I lived in Florida for 2 years where there was no state income tax, and there was a big difference. There was a big difference with our buying or purchasing, household goods, groceries, and everything. So there is a difference in what you spend and what you can save. So I would support eliminating state taxes for Georgia.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Our next question. Historically, none of our local delegation lives in Newton County. What can you do to make more attempts for appearances, planning for upcoming legislative sessions, and general presence inside of Newton County?
For myself as a candidate?
Yes.
After the primary, my goal is to visit every corner of my district to meet the voters, to meet the citizens of Newton County and District 43, and to hear their concerns about the district, and then just try to, have town hall meetings and whatever it takes to get the voters, get that momentum in the voters to vote in the upcoming election and for the general election.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. What are the challenges facing your district that must be addressed in the next 4 years?
Wow. I think criminal justice reform needs to be addressed. Environmental injustice needs to be addressed. And I think those two are the top, they're the top on my list to address. So I think those are the two important challenges right now that this district is facing.
Okay, thank you. Our last question, what makes you more qualified to hold state senate than the current incumbent?
I think my experience bringing my economic development experience, my overall personal experience in life, and the challenges that I had to endure has really got me to this point where I feel like I'm qualified to make change. I've experienced some things that, and some concerns that, shouldn't just be happening in our community. So by me going through those things, it's like it gives me the faith to go ahead, to try to make that change, not just for myself, but for the citizens of District 43. I have over 25 years in multifamily and real estate experience dealing with community itself and unifying community to get things done. And so I think I'm the best qualified candidate to do just that.
Okay. Adding on to that question, what would be some of your key initiatives if you're successful in winning the election?
My first initiative would be my criminal justice reform, and that is addressing human trafficking, sex trafficking in the community, employing new police officers, implementing new or many policing zones within a 2-mile radius where the high crime rates are, and making sure that our communities are safe, and making sure that that DeKalb County, Rockdale, and Newton will be a great place to live, work, and play.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for answering all of our top questions that were submitted by our citizens.
Mm-hmm.
At this time, can you close us out with further information about, further information you'd like the voters to know about your campaign, any contact information as well?
Well, again, I'm honored to be running for State Senate, District 43, and I look forward to, within the next couple of months, is really getting out and hearing the citizens' concerns, and making sure that they have access to myself, or making sure they have access to where if they have needs or issues in the community, that they can actually reach out to me. My website is melanieforgeorgia.com, so they can go to the website. I have a section on there after my introduction. There's a submit button that says Ask Melanie, and they can go in and ask me anything they want, ask questions, and I'll respond to them, as fast as I can. And just, my campaign for the general election is going to be a busy one for me, really getting out and really addressing some of those concerns and really trying to make an impact to where my voice is heard, to where I can make change. It's all about changing minds and saving lives for this district. And so I just want the citizens to know that I am here for them. Whatever, challenges that we all face, that there's going to be an end to the madness, and just making sure that every vote counts in both elections as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.